really want to do is congratulate the Junior Bar Association and the San Antonio Young Lawyers Association for 60 years of the organization surviving and doing well. I think that the organization itself has simply been a real ability for individuals to get together professionally, socially, and for tremendous charitable causes.
I was a president of SAYLA so long ago, and it's hard for me to remember that 30 years ago.
And I don't remember the year for sure. I got my law license in '65. I joined Cox and Smith in '66, and it was a couple of years after that I was elected president.
I served as president, I guess, in 1970 and 71, and the reason I remember that, I still have the plaque on my wall that kind of reminds me of that year.
Those were the days when handshakes were, you know, if you wanted to extend a trial date or discovery, it was by handshake. Today there's rules that govern and things have to be filed.
Is that when speaking to the more seasoned attorneys in this community who have been practicing law for a longer period of time, you know that there was that maybe 25, 30 years ago, that there was a lot more collegiality, or at least people having opportunities to spend time one with the other, whether it be at the local watering hole or the softball league or what have you. And with people's the commands that people have on their time and so forth, the demands on people's time nowadays, it's just hard to have that type of face time with other people.
In those days, some of the closest relationships I had were with lawyers through the junior bar. I mean,
All the young lawyers at that time got to know each other pretty well. And the bar was growing in number, nothing like it is today.
But the best thing is the friendships that you get.
SAYLA's the best ever. Any job I got, all my friends, all came from SAYLA.
Well, let me start by saying I was president in 1980 and 1981, which is quite some time ago. But I think the best memories I have of being in the Young Lawyers Association is just the associations you met, the friendships you made, the contacts you developed with practitioners and judges that to this day you retain.
Yeah, I just realized this morning that this group, we were on the board at the same time, and we've been going to lunch together like every month or two for 15 years now.
I think that's what it's really all about, is just getting to know your fellow practitioners, and since you'll be working with them, either with them or against them over the years.
We had great memories, and we're still all together. This is us 15 years ago on our board, and you can tell we had a really great time together. Great friendship.
All of us in this general age group got pretty well acquainted and on friendly terms because of, I thought, the socializing.
SAYLA, you have this great opportunity that everybody's grouped in by age or years of practice. So the really great thing about it is not only do you get back to your bar and meet other lawyers, but you get to meet the lawyers you're going to grow up with. I mean, God willing, we get to stay in this profession 20, 30 years, and we'll be able to look back and say, you know, I've known Ramon since I first got out of law school and started practicing. We've gotten to watch each other get married, have kids, lateral hires, start their own law firms, become partners. It's really a remarkable opportunity to start with a group of lawyers at this age, really, and this level of practice, or 5 years out of law school, or whatever the case may be.
By joining an organization like SAYLA, you know, everyone is a young lawyer. Everyone's going through the same thing that you're going through, and so it's easy to make friends, and then those friendships then, you know, continue for the rest of your life.
One of the things we started that I was concerned about when I would go to court, there seemed to be a substantial amount of camaraderie between the older lawyers and the judges. So the year I was president, we started a party for the judges, to invite the judges, and we went to the Coco Loco that year. And we had a very good turnout of the judges, and one of them enjoyed it so much I think we had to give them a ride home.
My experience that the judges were very receptive to the activities of the Young Lawyers Association, always willing to participate, to show up, to help. So it's another way to meet the judiciary.
I would encourage people to get involved for a multitude of reasons. I think SAYLA does so much great work and has a great relationship with the judiciary here in San Antonio.
If you're going to be a lawyer, then you need to learn from other lawyers. And we all can learn. I still learn something every day. And I've been practicing law for a lot of years.
It was nice meeting young lawyers, all your age group. We were all knowing each other. Pick up the phone, call your buddy, try to get an answer out of him.
And it's a safe place to ask the questions, because sometimes I think it's important to know when to ask questions, but also who to ask questions of. And if you've got a friendship first, then it becomes much easier to ask a professional question and know that it won't be held against you later.
Just having other young lawyers to talk to ask, to seek advice, I think is very, very helpful, and it helps in your professional career. I remember the caliber of lawyers. Most of my friends were trial lawyers because I was a trial lawyer. But I learned something every day, and I liked learning.
When I first started my presidency this year, I got a nice email from a past president, Jim Deeker, who reminded me about that and how over the span of 30, 50 years, however long that ends up being, your friendships, the ones that last longest, are the ones that you make through the SAYLA board and your involvement. So I thought that was a very nice and very true statement from a past president.
You all are nice enough to invite all the old guys to come back once a year and buy us lunch, which is we appreciate that fact that you'll recognize us.
Presidents tend to travel in packs and tend to work together, so I guess all the bar joiners find themselves together most of the time.
Still a good organization. I do usually accept their invitation every year to attend one of their meetings as a past president. They've always been very nice about including us, and although most of the people that attend those weren't even born when I was president.
The best years of my professional life.
Starting off in SAYLA was instrumental for me in getting more involved in these other organizations, and they've all enriched my career. SAYLA was a great springboard for me.
Why you should be a member of SAYLA also goes into my advice to any young lawyer, and that's take ownership and investment in your career.
So that really lays the foundations for relationships that continue throughout your career.
The initial joining SAYLA was an opportunity for me to get out and meet people in San Antonio.
But SAYLA, in my opinion, is something that furthers it beyond just your firm or what you're trying to do. And that's you're taking an investment and an ownership in getting to know the legal community. You're getting to know the community as a whole.
Basically answer the need that most attorneys have, which is I think that you went into this practice or in this profession because you wanted to give back to the community, and you felt as though that people that became lawyers were truly contributing members of their society.
Through my experience with SAYLA, I got involved in the ABA, ultimately became more involved in the San Antonio Bar Association. I'm currently a director of the San Antonio Bar Association, and I'm on the board of directors for the San Antonio Bar Foundation, and I hold a position with the ABA litigation leadership.
But no, I remember the camaraderie, at that time, the mixers and parties, every young lawyer went.
And it's not actually the event, but the preparation for the event, because that's when you got together with your friends and people that you became close with, and putting those things together, even though it was hard work, was something that was that I cherished because you actually got to laugh, you had a good time.
It's doubly challenging when you're dealing with a bunch of lawyers, as you can imagine. Getting all of them on consensus or on the same page is probably a very good exercise for most.
What I did, I'd been going to junior bar parties for a year or two, and there weren't too many people that went. And so I asked my wife if she would see about getting the young women together to form a junior bar wives auxiliary.
We would like to congratulate SAYLA and the Junior Bar on 60 terrific years. I speak for all of us when I say that we're very proud to be a part of this organization and to remain friends past our leadership days. Thank you very much, SAYLA, and congratulations on 60 great years.
And those of you in the next generation, keep up the good work.
Absolutely.
Oh, has it been running this whole